Okay, so yesterday we proved triangles congruent. If all the parts are congruent, we can say those triangles are congruent. Or if two triangles were told they're congruent, then all their parts are congruent. Today we're going to be looking at some congruent triangle shortcuts. So you don't necessarily need to know all the parts, like all the measurements, to prove that they are congruent. You can use these shortcuts. So we're going to just work on two at a time. And the first shortcut is called side, 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 and it's abbreviated SSS. And what this looks like, zoom in here. I'm going to draw two triangles that to me are like congruent, just freehanding, but two triangles that are the same shape and size. Okay, so on these triangles, we're told that this side equals this side equals this side, and this side is the same length as this side. If we have two triangles with these conditions, a side, side, side that matches a side, 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 then we can say that they are congruent. So this would be side, side, side congruence. And so if we know they're congruent, we could also say that the angles are congruent, but as long as you know that you have side, side, side in common, they're congruent. Then the second one, you guys got this down, is side, angle, side. So again, I'm drawing two triangles that are congruent here. And so side, angle, side would look like this. Side, angle, side matches side, angle, side. And the angle has to be the included angle, like you would say this in order, side, angle, side equals side, angle, side. And then you could prove that these two triangles are congruent, meaning that the third side would be in common and all the angles are the same too. But if you have these conditions, you can say they're congruent. Okay, so now we're going to practice using these two congruent statements. And we're going to learn a total of 4 today. The 4 that we're going to learn are up here, but for right now, we're just focusing on those first two. So it says, identify which property will be used to prove the triangle is congruent, either side, 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 angle, side, or none. Okay, so the first one, we have side, side, side equals side, side, side on this. So therefore, we have side, side, side congruent. Makes sense. Then number 2, side, angle, side matches side, angle, side over here. So therefore, we have side, angle, side congruence. So when you do this, it has to be in order. This would have to be the included angle right here. Over here, we have, just looking at it in order, angle, side, side, angle, side, side. If you get a cuss word, or if you get something that's backwards of a cuss word, either ASS or SSA, same thing, that is not a congruence postulate, so therefore it is none. So if you get a cuss word, you can't prove that the triangles are congruent with that. Okay, next, number 4. Look at it and see if we can determine whether they're congruent. So number 4, what I see is side, angle, side, side, angle, side. So since we have side, angle, side matching, side, angle, side. There. Then for number 5, it shows a side and a side in common here. And then they also have a shared side. So that shared side would obviously be equal to itself. Reflexive property is the property that would say like this is equal to itself. So here we have side, side, side. So even though that third side wasn't labeled, we know that like a line is equal to itself. So it must be side, side, side. Then number 6, it has an angle, angle, and angle in common. So we have A. However, this doesn't prove congruence. AAA does not prove congruence. Because two triangles, one could be like larger than the other and still have the same angles. So AAA only proves similarity, which we'll get to in another chapter, but just kind of touching on it. So if they have all the angles the same, they we can't prove they're congruent. We could prove that they're similar, like they're proportional, but one could be like larger than the other with the same angles. Okay, and then number 7, we see two sides in common. Cool. The vertical angles, though, are also in common. So vertical angles are equal. So we actually have side angle side. And then this one, there's a lot going on. I see maybe side angle side here. But in order for it to be side angle side, I'd have to have this angle equal to this one because it would have to be the same side to the same side like that. So it's not match, like side angle side doesn't match over here. But I do see side, 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 side. So therefore that would be the congruent statement I would use. And then number 9, side, side, side. Should pop out at you. And then number 10, Lucia, can you please not eat in class? Thank you. Okay, and then the shared side is equal. So therefore we have side angle side, side angle side. So side angle side. Number 11, side, side, side. And then number 12, angle, 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 which that doesn't prove congruence, so none. Okay, so then on the next page, they're going to build on this a little bit, just like kind of like test type questions. For number 13, it says, what information is needed to prove the triangles are congruent using side, side, side congruence postulate? So this is a very common way that they ask about it on a test. So what information is needed to prove that the triangles are congruent using side, side, side? So here we see two sides in common, side and a side and a side. We need the third side in common. So we'd also need to know that this side is the same length as this. So we need to know that RG is congruent to CL to have side, side, side. Then for B, again, it wants to know what information is needed. Well, it shows these two sides in common. The shared side is in common, like we know that. The other thing that we need to know is that this side is congruent to this side. So we need to know that AS is congruent to CE. Okay, and then next one, what information is needed to prove the triangles below are congruent because of side angle side? So we have side angle, we need one more side. So we need to know that this side is equal to this. So we need to know that SD is congruent to OR. And 15, which pair of triangles can be proved congruent by side, side, side? So they specifically want side, side, side. Let's see, we have two sides. We don't have the third in common, so not this one. This one, we have side angle side, which is great, but it's looking for side, side, side. Yes?
It's still right if you do, like for the number 14, you can do OK and CSC.
Good question. No, it wouldn't be right because it has to be like consecutive. Yeah, if it was that one, you'd have ASS. Like it has to be in order. It'll take some practice, I realize that. And then C for side, side, side. The shared side is in common, so that one does have side, side, side. It's probably this. And then D, you have side angle side, but not side, side, side. Okay, and then 16, which pair of triangles can be proved congruent by side angle side this time? So this one, side, 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 so not what they're looking for. G, the shared side would be in common, so here you do have side angle side on both. So probably G. H, the shared side is in common, but then you have ASS, ASS, which isn't a congruent statement and not what they're looking for. And here you just have angle side, you don't have enough information. And 17, what additional information do you need to prove that these two triangles are congruent? So I see two sides. Maybe like PN equal to QR, or I could do side angle side too. I'm going to look at the answer choices and just determine which one's best. Let's see, PN equal to SQ. No, SQ is equal to ON. That doesn't really make sense. So no to that. NO equal to QR. Well, NO is equal to SQ. That's not, no. Then angle P congruent to S. Angle P would be over here and S is there. So we have side angle side here, but then it's like not matching over here. So C wouldn't be a good answer either. And then for D, O is equal to S. Okay, then we have side angle side, side angle side. So that would be the best answer, D. I'm gonna pause the recording. We have one more